Welcome back, folks. A big change is on the way for the Pierce Blue Jays football team. After an impressive run spanning nearly 30 years, Blue Jay head coach Mark Brahmer is hanging up the headset. Sports Force's Irvin Doman met with Coach Brahmer, who is this week's Sports Force champion.
You know, this place is always going to be very special to me. I don't know if there's a better place in the state of Nebraska and, you know, maybe throughout the United States to coach high school football.
1995, the year football in Pierce, Nebraska would undergo a vast change. The Blue Jays would hire Mark Brahmer to be their next head coach. 9 state title appearances and 4 state championships later, Brahmer would call it a career.
I was fortunate to get the job here at Pierce High. I was probably the 3rd choice out of 3 guys that they interviewed, but they went with the young and dumb guy, and that's exactly what I was, you know, when I first started. I didn't know a lot, but I did know how to work, and so through time and effort, patience from the people around me, and a lot of hard work by our young men within this community, and a lot of good assistant coaches, we were able to slowly turn it around.
That slow turnaround began with 2 losing seasons in '95 and '96, with records of 2-6 and then 3-6. But finally, Brahmer and the Blue Jays were able to break through.
And then in '97 to 6-3, qualified for the playoffs for the first time that I was here. And then after that, it kind of took off.
Take off they did, as they would start a string of 17 straight playoff appearances. Success like that only comes one way for the Blue Jays under Brahmer.
The thing that I always felt has set Pierce apart from other places is just the blue-collar work ethic of people. And I've told a number of people this since I got here in 1995. I've never had a parent come to me and complain about the amount of time or the effort we've asked of their sons.
After establishing a program that brought pride to Pierce, Brahmer decided to add another tradition, one that comes after the sweet taste of victory.
The fight song, we started singing that in 2007. In my opinion, it helped form additional pride in our school and our community and tied those two together.
The thing I still miss the most about high school football and playing at Pierce is just the fight song after the games, you know, singing, the whole crowd singing along. Just nothing better than a win in high school, especially at Pierce. The crowd just travels so well.
Tradition and time. 2 words that go hand in hand. But for Coach Brahmer, it's now time to start a new tradition.
I had kind of earmarked this as maybe my last year. You know, if I didn't have a couple kids playing college athletics in the fall, I probably would continue to coach.
Brahmer would leave the Blue Jay program on top of the mountain after a 13-0 season and a Class C1 state championship. For Brahmer, it's now time to enjoy some time with his family, time that was sacrificed for nearly 30 years as he poured his blood, sweat, and tears into building the Pierce football program.
My wife never complained. She raised our children. She always let me do my thing. A couple times I apologized for not being there, and she said, I know what makes you happy, and you got to do your thing.
Brahmer knows it will be tough to be in the stands on game days, but believes in due time he might wear the headset in the future.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very difficult. I won't be able to sit. You know, I'll have to probably pace. If I'm pulled back at some point, which I hope I am, maybe 4 or 5 years down the road, that'll be the reason why. Because I just love being part of a team.
For now, the Blue Jays will take the field under Darren Suckstorf, a Pierce alum that played for Coach Brahmer. In Pierce, Nebraska, Irvin Doman, KTIV Sports Force.